We live?
I think we are.
All right, let's get it then. Welcome to episode 29, the King's of Dysfunction. I am Blake Dela Cruz. This is Just Bryce. Together, minus one, we make the Kings of Dysfunction. Isaiah will be back next week. He's currently making the world a better place. Bryce, how you doing?
Hey man, I feel good. Something don't feel right with the show, man. Let me try. Let me try real quick.
Okay, all right. You got it.
You're
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. That don't
I
really
can
sound right either. You know what? That's his gimmick. We're gonna let him keep his gimmick. We're just gonna do what we do.
That's facts.
All right. So you're doing all right tonight? You good?
Yeah, man. Hey, Russian, but hey, I made it.
Hey, man, that's the life this time of year. It's just
I know so much.
hustle and the bustle, bro. So before we get started, if everybody can hit that like button on the way in, and if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button somewhere in this area. And obviously, turn on that notification bell because we do go live every Wednesday night at 9:19 p.m. And we do pop up live sometimes. We might be at an indie show. We might be at a WWE live event. You never know. So go ahead and cut that notification bell on. And if you're watching the replay, go ahead and leave a comment for us and let us know what you think of the show.
And if you're listening on Spotify, hey,
facts. We do have Spotify. We'll pin that in the comments below. So before we get started with the show, let's see what we got. Ashley, WWE fan podcast. Thank you for being here.
Yes, Ashley said, "What's up, Ashley? How you doing tonight? Welcome in."
Parker's on the go as always. Thank you for being in the shadows and sometime in the front. We appreciate you. There he is himself, the chocolate one.
Hey, that's crazy. You see that picture? Hey, if y'all are watching this, or I'm sorry, if you listen on Spotify, go check out the YouTube, because that picture right there of Big Hirsch looking like Baron Corbin, amazing.
My man changed his profile picture. You know, he passed a couple of tests here and there, and he got a new lease on life.
Oh man,
Hirsch, I hope you're doing well. Hope everything's good in your world. Thank you for being here. Thank you for tapping in. We appreciate you. Let's see here. See. All right, I think there you go. You got it. That's my sister-in-law. Thank you for being here, sis. I appreciate that. Happy birthday to your cousin Ashley. Thank you for again. Thank you for being here. And yeah, my wife's right. Sometimes, like messing with the comments, you do need a mouse. So now I see what she's talking about. Okay, all right. So we're gonna get right into it. So the big news of the week, obviously, is Sasha Banks, aka Mercedes Varnado, is apparently done with WWE, and she'll be showing up in New Japan at Wrestle Kingdom on January the 4th. Obviously, this is news that people have been waiting on for 6 months at least. It was news I was afraid of because it's wrestling. You just think everything is going to work out, especially when Triple H came back and took power. I just thought that was a fence to be mended, but apparently not. We don't know her exact role on New Japan yet, but she's allegedly going to be there. So, Bryce, what do you think?
Hey, man. I hope, whatever she does in her endeavors, I mean, she got a lot going on. Modeling. I know she mentioned finishing a movie recently. Her CBD brand she got going on. She's been, just staying busy, got a lot of things on her plate.
Yeah.
So I think wrestling for her is more of a part-time kind of thing now. And I think she's a big enough draw to where she can be part-time and, demand more money and pretty much whatever she wants. You know what I mean? I think she has a pretty large following. She was actually on Bailey's live today on Instagram. I watched a lot of that live today because I didn't know when, the guests and things were coming on.
Yeah.
And I think the viewership was somewhere around like 2,000, 3,000. When Sasha popped up the first time, it jumped up to like 10,000.
Wow.
Like instantly. Like I got the notification and I'm like, oh, wow, okay, let me tune back in. Like I was kind of in and out, but kind of, stepped away for a second, got back on it. When I saw that, I was like, wow, the numbers. I mean, they even mentioned it on, their live saying that, her coming on has just like increased the viewership. And I'm like, yep, because she knows she got that star power. Everybody want to hear from her. Everybody want to see what she's going to do next. So, yeah, if she is in fact doing Wrestle Kingdom, I'll definitely try to watch it, try to catch that. Because, hey, I love Sasha Banks, man. I think she's amazing. But I'm curious to see like what her, if she is wrestling elsewhere, what her character would be.
Yeah, I haven't watched the Wrestle Kingdom in at least 3 years. Like I have the New Japan streaming service. I watch all the shows they had. Like I used to be that into New Japan, and then, it's just too much wrestling that happens, and I just let go. But yes, she's an amazing performer. I think very highly of her. I don't think as highly of as her stands do. I think she's great. I think she had probably the best women's match of all time with Bailey at a takeover in Brooklyn. So I hope she does well. So this leads to me thinking, do you think she goes to AEW?
I hope not. I just say that because she's such a bigger star than anybody that's there.
Absolutely.
Like, she'll help, I guess, bring viewership and put eyes on the product, but like actually like in ring, who is she gonna help there?
Yeah, I was thinking about that myself.
Like, I don't think Britt Baker can be any bigger than what she is now.
No.
Because I mean, to me, she's like the top woman in AEW. They've treated her that way. Jade is still like learning and figuring out, but I feel like Jade, just her look by itself is already appealing. Sasha, it's not going to change that. So like, who else is there that she's going to elevate and work with that, people really want to see?
Right, because if you bring her in, she's got to run through everybody. Like she has to.
Yeah.
So, like, AEW should also, be interested in bringing her in. But at the same time, if I'm Sasha, I don't like. We talked about this. Like, if you're a free agent, oh come on.
Listen, don't do that. I listen. I didn't notice that till she said something to me, and yeah, we support Bailey over here, so no Bailey slander.
But if you're a free agent, why in the world right now would you choose AEW over WWE? Like unless the bag is that big, unless she's going to be the highest paid person in the company, why would you go there? Because
Well, I feel like for her it's probably just the freedom and the schedule. Because I mean, let's say if WWE were to pay her, let's say $2 million a year, right? That's at least probably going to be 150 appearances, roughly 3 times a week. AEW is probably be somewhere closer to like 50 appearances because she wouldn't be on, TV every week. She is free to go work other promotions.
Yeah, but I think she's to the point now where I don't think if they're smart, like they wouldn't have her work live events. Unless it's like MSG. Then even Roman works MSG house shows. I don't, and the schedule isn't what it used to be. It is.
No,
It is.
it's definitely not.
You're going to do TV maybe once every I guess depending on demands and whatnot. Maybe TV once a week, and not a you're not doing a live event. So I don't think the schedule unless you're just going to take advantage of a mark.
Well, that's what I was going to say. So, like, if WWE is saying that they want 150 appearances, because I mean, think about it, right? That don't mean that you're wrestling those 150 times. You got TV 52 times a year, 12 pay-per-views, and then it could just be like, hey, we want you to go on like Good Morning America. Hey, we need you to go do like a radio. Hey, they're opening up a new grocery store somewhere. We need you to like go do PR for us. You know what I mean? Like those are like appearances, other things that she can be doing, right? Whereas like AEW, I don't. Maybe they do those things, but I don't ever see them. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't feel like I've really seen Jade Cargill is the only person I've seen from AEW and MJF do any kind of radio or television in that company.
Yeah, but so you're making and if you're AEW without a TV deal, like, why would you keep adding on set because she's gonna
Because
have to come with two. I feel
Tony
like the
Khan's
starting
friends
point
with
is 2
everybody.
million. So what?
Tony Khan is friends with everybody. He wants to pay everybody, and he does a lot for the sport of professional wrestling.
You know who that sounds like? That sounds like Tony Khan talking.
Exactly. A dude with a lot of money that just wants to pay people. And, hey, Sasha will probably end up on YouTube in like, I don't know, 4 months. Or she'll just not be booked like Miro. Who knows?
Who's I don't know who that is.
Miro?
Yeah, who?
Rusev.
I remember Rusev Day, but I don't remember Miro. I don't know last time I seen him.
He wrestled at All Out.
And when was that?
Hey, that was September.
I thought it was further along than that.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I just don't think if she wants to just pad her pocketbook, that's great. But if she goes there, are they going to hit 1 million every week if she goes there?
Probably certain segments, but I don't think it'll average that much.
Yeah, again, if she's just going to get a bag, I'm never going to talk ill of somebody going to get a bag, but I don't see if you're a free agent why you would rather put your career in Tony Khan's hands. Given his ineptitude the last, 3 to 5 months?
Oh, I was just going to say like overall, but sure.
It's been overall, but it's gotten progressively worse. It's like it's gotten worse each month this year.
Yeah. Hey, man, look at William Regal in that storyline.
So all right, so let's go ahead and transition to that. So what did you think about their explanation of William Regal turning? And go ahead and refresh the people if they didn't hear it.
Okay, so at the Full Gear pay-per-view, William Regal turned on his fellow Blackpool Combat Club member, the former AEW World Champion Jon Moxley, sided with MJF. Then the following week, Regal goes to cut a promo. Moxley cut him off. Regal never explained or said anything. Moxley sends him on his way. Then the following week, MJF knocked out William Regal to teach him a lesson that, hey, you made a deal with the devil, Then they followed that up again last week by now playing a video from, I guess, would have been filmed 2 weeks ago, where Regal finally got to explain what happened. And his explanation was basically that he wanted to teach them a lesson to, I guess, just always be prepared or be ready or something. But then, like, he himself wasn't prepared. but like he knew that this might happen, so he had them play the video. I don't know. I just feel like that just got progressively more confusing. It makes everybody involved look stupid. They could have just left it alone after Moxley sent him on his way the first time, and that was that. Nobody gets anything. Then, hey, MJF comes back, and he kind of gets something out of it, but like not enough to make people care because they've only been together less than 2 weeks. So like that, it doesn't help anybody. And then they just follow that up even more with, hey, here's some convoluted explanation that, I'm going to record this and, I think this might happen. And if it does, then play this. But otherwise, don't tell nobody.
Okay. So like you said, so if you knew, so presumably he was making that message because he knew MJF was going to turn on him.
Basically, yeah.
So if you knew MJF was going to turn on you, why did you even show up? Oh, one, okay, let's say you do show up. Then why would you turn your back on him? So if you knew this is going to happen, then why are you even...
Hey, man, it really don't make sense. But then I thought after they played the video, because I believe Tony Schiavone got in the ring to talk to them and to show them, hey, and emphasize, hey, this is a video from like a few weeks ago. So like if Tony Schiavone had this news, he must be like the best secret keeper ever. Because this was never mentioned by him, like never alluded to by him for 2 weeks prior. Blackpool Combat Club is not mad at Tony Schiavone. They ain't asking him questions after this plays. It's just all of it just doesn't make sense to me.
They had 6 weeks. They knew Regal wanted out 6 weeks ago. More than, it's almost about 2 months now.
Yeah.
And this is the best that they could come up with. They could have not just added him to the storyline. They could have put him they could have kept him on announcing, or they could have just kept him managing the Blackpool Combat Club. They did not have to involve him in the main event angle.
Correct.
So, but that's what they chose to do. And then they had to do the convoluted switcheroo. And I know it was like CM Punk being there, like not being there, change plans. But again, you still had 6 weeks at least to come up with something different. And they chose not to.
Yep.
So
yeah, I'm really curious, like with all the creative minds involved, that like Moxley, MJF, and Regal, that's the best that they could come up with. Like, I just don't know how creatively that level of talent doesn't find something more creative,
right? It's like
a better way.
How does this make it through? Like, who's writing this? And be like, this is good, and then like not run it. Supposedly, Tony, he has to sign off on this, so his fingerprints are all in this. So that's why it may be nice to have like a head of creative, maybe a head of creative who's a wrestling guy and who did just book a internet federation back in 2002.
Yeah, that would be amazing if they. What?
We got breaking news.
No, I was looking at the best of 7. I'm sorry. So the match next week is no DQ, but then if they need the match after that, it'll be falls count anywhere. Like, I just love how these matches have stipulations.
Bro, they've already announced when the match 7 is going to be. So
yeah,
what's the purpose of watching this? You already know it's going to be a best. Like, you already know it's going 7 because they've already announced that it's going to be in LA next week.
Hey, it's 3 games to 1.
It's going to be in LA next month.
Yeah, in a few weeks. It's 3-1 right now.
Well, when you've already announced, and they announced it as if it's going to be like a headline in LA.
Yep.
Booker of the Year, Tony Khan. But let's talk about something more positive with AEW, and that's the Ricky Starks MJF promo segment.
You went back and watched that?
I did not. I went to go see. I went to go see a not so good Disney movie today. So,
What movie?
Strange World.
That's not on like Disney Plus.
No.
Oh dang! So we back on this, and we have to go to the movie theaters.
Yeah.
Well,
It was not. It was not that great. It was.
I wait for it on Disney Plus.
As you should. Smart.
Nelly said, "What is it about?" It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Just you can go to YouTube and watch the trailer. I don't want to give out too much about it. I've already talked too much about it now. That's how
exactly. It's already got too much attention. So
nice.
That promo segment from last week. Hey, if Big Hirsch was here, I know that's gonna get 5 Hirsch bars. That was a great promo segment from MJF, kind of chewing off Ricky Starks for a minute to talk to Bryan Danielson, to then focus his attention back on Ricky Starks. Man, I love the fact he called that man Dollar Store Dwayne, called him the Pebble. I thought that was great, man. They just do like good insults at each other. Mm-hmm. It was entertaining. It felt real, felt believable. And Ricky Starks, man, I'm glad they didn't just like talk him down and he didn't get no kind of rebuttal. You know, he actually got a chance to get on the mic, call him like a 5th-rate Roddy Piper. Talked about the cheap suits, the cheap cologne.
The part I was like about the eczema or something.
Oh yeah, he said that man gets spray tans to cover up his eczema.
Yeah. Eczema's a serious issue. If you got a problem, go see your local physician.
But it was just good. Like they both just lit into each other. So it was just a really good promo segment. Like they both just spoke facts, said a lot of truth, but like it was also funny. And then of course MJF just ended the segment. He just like kicked him in the nuts, and that was that.
Oh, that's great.
But I mean, it's like that's what he does. Like it's funny to me.
Did it sell a professional wrestling match?
Yeah, like I got it on right now because I'm really interested to see this match. Because before, hey man, I did not care about this. It already seemed predictable. No way MJF is losing this. And not only is this for the AEW World Title, it's also for the Dynamite Diamond Ring. Apparently, it's some battle royal that they have, and MJF has won all of them. And this is the first one that he wasn't even in this because obviously he's the world champion.
Right.
So yeah, this match is for everything MJF has right now: the Dynamite Diamond Ring and the AEW World Title.
And this is winter is coming, right? This is
absolutely.
So hopefully, or not hopefully, depending on what side of the fence you're on, this gets a million. If this doesn't draw 1 million, this is a problem.
Well, I mean, it should. It's a big show. Hey, and it led off with that Best of 7 series. This was match 4.
I feel like there's a certain guy we listened to on YouTube who said that they were going to lead off with this match.
Who said that?
Cornette said that because, you know, the Best of 7s have been losing viewers. So Cornette was like, you know, that's going to start the show next week. So they can so they can say, hey, this segment drew like 1 million. Because they always get the lead in from Big Bang Theory. So they're going to say, hey.
Just, you know, the people that like the Big Bang Theory that get that nice lead in. I mean, same thing for Raw, because their viewership just decreases and decreases and decreases. I think they had their lowest.
It ain't good right now.
Hour of Raw, like, was it 2 weeks ago, that third hour?
Yeah, I don't think this past Monday didn't do great either.
No.
But I'm attributing it's got to be some of theirs is somewhat attributable to Monday Night Football, but it's still a big drop off.
Hey, I
think it's just a holding period right now in general because they're not really giving away too much because it's December. They don't have a pay-per-view this month.
Yeah.
So everybody's just. I feel like it's a skippable show because nothing's gonna happen. Now we'll see what happens on Friday when the Tribal Chief shows back up. But
I mean, I feel like SmackDown does pretty good because that's on like regular free TV.
touche.
But I'm not giving Raw no kind of pass on ratings because, but they've been going up against Monday Night Football for ever since their existence.
And it's always a dip during this time of year. No, I'm not attributing all of that to Monday Night Football. I'm attributing most of it to
Yeah,
there's
just
just not,
what's on.
there's nothing going on.
Yeah,
It's
like
nothing you
there's
can't
no pay per
watch.
view to bill for. There's nothing major happening.
Right. Everybody knows it's just like they're just kind of in a holding pattern until January. So
Yeah, like
we'll see.
I really expected Raw right now to just be like, I thought they would just have like qualifying matches and like just stuff to kind of get you ready for the Rumble, you know? But evidently not. They haven't started that yet. People just announced themselves.
Yeah. What? I mean, people have
Uh,
started announcing themselves.
yeah, Kofi Kingston's in the Royal Rumble. I think they
All right.
announced him and like one other person. I can't remember who.
All right. So while we're on the topic of before we get too far in the weeds, um, we won't spend long on this. Vince McMahon wants to come back.
Well, I don't think he ever wanted to leave.
Facts. That's a good point. Um,
I don't think Vince McMahon had a retirement plan. His retirement plan was to basically die while doing this.
dying the gorilla.
Basically, yeah, or in the ring. Well, no, I take that back. He don't want that image on his company. But yes, at some point, pass away while working.
Yeah. I just Vince. This is my opinion. We don't need you anymore. Like, we don't. We're Vince. We're good. We're good, Daddy. Like you can go ahead and take it easy. We don't need you anymore. Things have gotten better. Like people are actually happy to come to work. Um, People are not being embarrassed on a daily basis. So we're good. Stay home. Let H Man run this thing. And
Yeah.
yeah, we don't need you back. You can go ahead and just take it easy.
Yeah, I mean, I would say for what it's worth, I think Vince still has, like to me, he still has a mind for wrestling to figure out like what people want to see and who they want to see. But I feel like he didn't remember as well as he used to, like what was happening on the shows,
Yeah.
because it was the same thing over and over. It's almost like he had an idea, did that, and then forgot he did it, and then just kept doing it until he had like another idea he would remember, which is
Oh
why
no,
like
there's
Raw
been
was kind of
stories going
fun.
back years about him like getting mad at people for reminding him that stuff happened already. So
Yeah, or just like
so
in general, like how Raw will be literally the same matches every week in a different order that lead to nothing. Like that's really why the decline of Raw happened. Like I feel like having I like John Cena, I like Randy Orton, but how many matches have they had? You know, from
not
like that
enough.
2009 to like 2015.
Yeah.
You know, you get tired of seeing some of
Yeah.
the same matchups. So like that caused a decline, and then booking of specific people, like when Vince has a favorite, that person is just pushed to the moon regardless of like fan reaction.
Yeah.
Like how Super Cena happened. Like I love the fact John Cena got over that, like that whole rapping thing and all that caught on, and he went on to be one of the all-time greats. But like that stuff like with the Nexus, hey, like let somebody else,
Yeah.
have a come up. I was shocked, like with the CM Punk story, that he, came up off of that, off of John Cena. But like they put Cena in these weird positions and don't follow through.
Right.
Because like I feel like it's a left out part of the Punk and Cena storyline from that time. But like Punk, I think was hurt and was doing commentary, like maybe 6 to 8 months prior. Something happened with Cena and he got fired. but they let him show up like in a mask and still wrestle, or like he would buy tickets and be in the crowd. And like Punk was calling this out on commentary. Like I don't know if people remember this, but Punk was laying like the groundwork for this. I don't know if this was an intentional thing, but like he was saying like little comments about Cena and kind of, well, he shouldn't be here, and like all the stuff that he said, like with the pipe bomb and all those promos leading up to that, and like people just get tired of Cena. Like he never went away, so we never got to miss him. Like how Hogan went away for a while, Rock went away, Austin went away. Cena never went away. You know.
Yeah, when he got hurt, he'll be back in 6 months. Like so.
Yeah, like when he tore his pec in October and was 30 in the Royal Rumble, like, come on.
Yeah. So Vince, we're gonna segue to a little bit of Royal Rumble talk here. Vince, stay retired. It's not a good look. You did some foul stuff. People ain't forgot that. It don't look good.
Yeah.
Well. If it isn't Sid Cruiser.
Hey, what you gonna do if Vince McMahon is number 30 in the Royal Rumble? Will he tear both his quads again?
Yes, I hope so. And somebody else wins. Sig, thank you for being here. This is one of my wife's best friends. She's an okay friend to me. She's an okay friend to me. She has her cruising channel. We still got
okay.
We were with her on the last cruise. She's a very good person. So I said something nice about Sig. So Sig, I want you to remember that. But thank you for showing up. I really appreciate it. It means a lot. So, speaking of the Royal Rumble, sorry, my dog was trying to sneak over here. Speaking of the Royal Rumble, so there's talk that thanks, Siobhan. I appreciate that. It's, she really grinds my gears. Thanks, Sig. I really appreciate it. And you're already past your bedtime, so I appreciate you staying up past your bedtime and popping in. So I saw something today where Cody would definitely be ready for WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
But there's no talk of him being ready for the Royal Rumble. And then, there's also talk of The Rock winning the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
If those two don't happen, those are the two most logical cases. Is there a third person? If Cody's not ready and The Rock schedule doesn't allow it, is there a third person to win the Rumble?
So I feel like probably Seth. So I feel like Seth could probably win. And if Cody is ready, like February or March, whatever the next, I think it's Elimination Chamber, right? Mm-hmm. It's in Canada.
Yeah.
I think that's February. I could see Seth and Cody having match 4 for that WrestleMania spot. If you want to have Cody, but he can't go for the Rumble,
Yeah.
You can do that, or you can just have Rollins and Reigns. That's fine. Like the match from Royal Rumble earlier this year was great. The finish sucked, but the match was good.
I was there. The finish, like I understood the finish. Yeah. Like I understood it.
Yeah,
not necessarily something I would have done, but I understood it. See, here's my problem with that. If Cody's going to be ready by Mania, wouldn't you just go to him and Reigns for Mania? And I don't know, maybe have Cody win an Elimination Chamber, I guess, at that point. And then, but it's still like, who wins the Rumble? The only guy they're pushing right now, like who's like worthy of a Rumble win, is Austin Theory.
Nah, so I feel like, okay, if they push him and like he wins the Rumble, why did you have him lose Money in the Bank?
Well, to get this new attitude.
I feel like he could have just had that anyway. Like he could have just been tired of losing. I mean, I don't think that's hard. Like you see athletes every day like that play for losing franchises. They get sick of losing. Like you see guys when you play on a team like y'all having a bad season or you just been in a place and you lose so much, somebody just asks you a question and you get great responses. Like you get so angry off like nothing for real. He's been losing a lot. I feel like that's a logical way. Like they have veterans there that can talk to him. You know what I mean? Like they can say something to him. Like I hate to say, but he could literally talk to Shelton Benjamin, right?
Yeah.
Or like Shelton go talk to him, try to give that man advice. Shelton Benjamin could beat him in a match on Raw, and then after that, Theory just goes off, beats that man down. Like what he did, I think it was the Ziggler match when he went off? Like when he had the new attitude, like he could have won the match, but he just kept beating him down and like got disqualified.
Stop Ali.
That was Ali? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, it's like when he had that new attitude, like he could have won the match, but it's like, nah, like I'm about to punish you. And I don't know. I just don't think he should have. If that's the plan for him to win the Royal Rumble, he could have just kept Money in the Bank.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just trying to think of a third guy who.
There isn't. Like I don't want to see Drew McIntyre.
No. Kevin Owens?
No, because I think you're gonna get that match at Rumble. By the way, I love what he did on Raw. That was great.
Oh yeah, with the Elias. Yeah. Oh yeah, that was yes. Like things that make sense. Like no,
Yeah.
I'm just not gonna forget.
Yeah, it's like how? Like you put me through a lot mentally earlier this year, or like your brother or whoever. And then it's like, if you are Elias, then no, you hit me with a guitar last time I saw you. Like I don't even remember like that happened.
Me either.
That was such a long time ago.
Me either.
But like, hey, continuity, you know?
Right. So yeah, I do appreciate good continuity. So if you're watching the replay or if you're chatting with us now, give us a person other than The Rock and Cody to win the Rumble because we're struggling here. So hopefully Cody can do that. They want him back for another match. So
hey, you know what? See. Ric Flair.
It's in Texas. So we'll see. If Cody's not going to be ready by WrestleMania, then The Rock has to.
Yeah,
has to.
And you know something else I thought about too when we talked about that a few weeks back. If Reigns wrestles and main events both nights, I just feel like that match with The Rock is going to upstage because that would be the Sunday match. That's going to upstage whatever happens on Saturday for Roman. Like it just is.
And do you want to beat him the night before?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like this is just like a huge. I don't know. Like, do you put the belt on The Rock? Do you have Roman drop the belts before Mania? Like, what do you do?
This is a conundrum. Like, this is the.
I kind of like this.
He hasn't.
So, yeah, so just said Karrion Kross because he hasn't fought Reigns yet. He hasn't. I also like what he's doing on SmackDown.
So that's okay. Thanks, sis. That's one we can throw into a possible third person winning. I will riot and I will throw things at the ring, but I can. That's all. That's one I can understand. I'm going to pay hundreds of dollars to see Karrion Kross with the Royal Rumble. That makes sense though. I'm not laughing at the suggestion. I'm laughing at like the fact that it makes sense.
Like when that right now you really could be paying hundreds of dollars for that.
I digress. So, so Karrion Kross is the only one, and the matchup with Reigns and Kross will be fresh, and Roman would obviously he's going to get cheered. You know, he gets cheered now, but he's going to get cheered even more against Karrion. But like you said, back to this Rock the Rock Cody Reigns conundrum of, do you really have Roman who hasn't been pinned? Has it been 2 years? Three? It's been almost 3 years, right?
Yeah, I don't know last time he lost even like in a tag match.
I know Xavier Woods beat him last year by DQ,
DQ, yeah.
but I don't know when actually last time he actually lost a match other than that he was involved in. Do you want to do that 2 nights? Do you want to beat him 2 nights in a row?
Yep. Like, I'm so curious, like, when Vince stepped down, because I really wanted to see what was Vince McMahon's plan for this. Like, what was his big plan? Like, I really thought, like, okay, when he came back and won the belt, like the Universal title at that SummerSlam, okay, hey, we want to get, him to WrestleMania. And then it's like, well, where do you go from here? Then it's like, oh, he's back at WrestleMania as champ again. And then, well, okay, what's the end goal to this?
Now, would it make sense if they split the titles before Mania?
I mean, that would be wonderful. Like, this is why, Clash at the Castle. Drew McIntyre should have only challenged for one of those belts, not both, and won the match.
I don't think he should have won.
You don't think, really?
I don't think he should have won.
I feel like that was the perfect time to get one of the belts off of him. Like, take the WWE title off of him, put Drew like over on Raw. You good?
Yeah, I don't think you should book just because you're in somebody's hometown. Just for like a one night pop. Drew at that time was so in. Like, he's very in right now.
It is, but again, look at what was happening on SmackDown. That he basically said right after WrestleMania, that's when he's challenging Roman. And then it's like, well, what do you do with him for 4 months? Like, if you know that this is what you're working to,
right?
You don't really need to build him. Like, he's already established as a main event guy. So then he's doing a bunch of caca, just whatever for 2 or 3 months. Like, I think, didn't he tag with New Day at some point?
Yes.
He had some matches with Sheamus. Like, he was just doing stuff at that point.
Yeah.
All of it was predictable because of what he'd already said. Like, he already said, "Hey, I'm going to have this."
We knew this. We knew as soon as I think they announced it earlier this year. Like, everybody knew what the match was when they announced. So it's like, what do you do? But I really feel like now is probably going to be the time to go ahead and take the belt, one of the belts off of Roman. That solves the problem.
Yeah.
Maybe making a limit, like Roman just like, look, I don't want this belt anymore. Blah blah. Just make up something and have the title at Elimination Chamber. Like, just have the WWE title up for the grabs at Elimination Chamber, and then whoever wins that faces Cody. That's one way.
Yeah.
And then you can have night one, then your night two. Otherwise, if you keep both belts on him, I don't see the workaround without beating him both nights.
Well, I mean, I don't think he's gonna beat The Rock. Like,
so you think The Rock's beating him or not beating him?
No, I think The Rock's there to lose. To just kind of cement that, like, for Roman.
But like, then at that rate, if he's gonna win, when do you have that on night one? Then, if he's gonna win,
I mean, yeah, absolutely. But then I feel like that would make it predictable. That's what I'm saying. It's a catch-22. Like, you put Rock on night one. Okay, well, Rock's probably losing. They're trying to keep Roman strong for him losing on Sunday. But then if you put Rock on night two, yeah, if I had to pick between, what show I'm going to go to, I'm going to go see The Rock. Yeah. It don't even matter what else is on Sunday. I'm going to go watch that. So, I don't know. Just it's a catch-22 situation. Oh, this is why I was hoping like Money in the Bank would solve one of these problems, or like I said, the Drew McIntyre, because again, that was somebody that was credible in a believable environment and situation, and then it just didn't happen. So like, I have no clue when he's going to lose.
Or do you just delay the Cody thing until like SummerSlam? Is that too far away?
But then, what do you do for the Royal Rumble?
You have the Rock win, apparently.
Well, I hope not, because I mean that's just like basically repeating last year. Like eventually somebody has to win the Royal Rumble and go get the belt.
But people would care more if it's the Rock. Like the Rock's not going to get the same. Like
I don't know.
I can tell you for a fact, as soon as Drew McIntyre got eliminated last year and Brock won, people left. Like people are gone. Like nobody stayed there to celebrate. It was literally, okay, Drew gets tossed over. Brock wins. Good night, everybody. People are gone. Like people weren't even there to stay for the fireworks. So I don't think that would happen with The Rock. I don't.
I mean, I feel like, okay, so because it's The Rock is special, he's there. Like you don't get to see him, so you'll keep people in the building. I just don't see how people would get behind that, man. Like I say, case in point, like The Rock couldn't even save Roman Reigns. Like when was this? Like 7-8 years ago when he won the Royal Rumble.
That was so completely different. Like it was. That was.
I mean, The Rock is probably one of the most likable, non-booable people.
But people knew what it was. Like people were already there to know what was happening, so people already saw through that.
But I mean, you don't think them same people would still be at the Rumble and like not really get behind? I don't know. I just can't get behind him.
I think because at that point it'd be the first time people. I don't think so. I really don't. I really think Rock is that likable. And I think that Roman Reigns situation 5 years ago was toxic. Like, it was like I don't think Stone Cold or The Rock like could.
Nobody was going to save that. Nobody was going to save that. Because I mean, so much happened in that Rumble. Like the people wanted Daniel Bryan. I thought that was so fitting that he got eliminated and Goldust was the next person. That it said Shattered Dreams. Always like that just plays in my mind. Like Vince McMahon, he had to do that on purpose. Like that had to be something he discussed. Like, hey, I need you out. Before he comes out, just so like he can get that camera shot.
Yeah. So I don't know. We're going to talk about this a ton in the next 6 weeks. So stay tapped in every Wednesday because we're going to talk about this a lot more in the upcoming weeks. Okay. So to finish out the show, a couple NXT topics. So the New Day win the NXT tag titles.
Yes, sir.
What are your thoughts about that?
Hey, I'm happy for them, man. They just keep adding to the Hall of Fame resume. I think it's good for them because I feel like if they're not really in the title picture, they don't really have a lot going on.
Yeah.
So instead of doing the same stuff with Viking Raiders, geez, I cannot remember who they had those matches. Oh, with the Brutes. How can I forget?
Yeah, like, that wasn't
even when Xavier Woods, like when he's calling it out on, I don't know if it was Twitter or Instagram, but like, hey, we've been at this for like, I don't know, was it like almost 20 weeks? It was a long time because they did singles, several tags, more singles, handicaps. I'm like, bro. So yeah, I think this would give them something to do. They can kind of go work with, some up and comers and really, get them ready for the main roster.
Yeah.
And
they Triple H has already, or Sean mentioned that they're open to working more NXT. He's hoping that they're going to be in Charlotte at Vengeance on February the 4th. Stay tuned. We might be there. But
February the 4th?
February 4th.
It's a Saturday?
No, probably. Yeah, it is.
Dang. It's crazy because like I work that day. But you know what? I still got time to make it.
I do too, and hopefully I'll have my laptop for work by then, so I can take it on the road. But yeah, so yeah, and they look genuinely like happy to win. Like they look, yeah.
I like that one spot in the match too, like the Eddie Guerrero spot with the belt.
Yes, that was clever. That was something they never. Usually, they think it gets overused. But they put a new spin on it. They had a really good match with Pretty Deadly. I may be a weirdo, but I like Pretty Deadly as a team. Like their whole act is kind of it ain't Chuck and Billy.
Yeah,
but I like the act. It was like I said, it was a good match. So good for them. Hopefully this helps NXT's ratings a little bit by having them there. We'll see. Hopefully more. And I like main roster talent going down and working NXT, and actually winning because usually,
bingo.
They haven't been winning in these matches except for Dolph. So.
Yeah, that's what they need to do is they need to win because there's a reason you're on the main roster. Like,
right.
If you lose into developmental, you might need to like reevaluate. You know what I mean?
Right.
But yeah, like I always think that's a good use of talent anyway. Like just send some main roster guys you ain't really using.
Right.
Send them to NXT just to get them wins. Let them, bring along some developmental people.
Yeah.
That way you don't have like a bunch of squash matches on Raw and SmackDown. Like that's one thing I say about AEW. Like I hate like watching Rampage. Nobody has entrances. Or like one person will have an entrance. So okay, you already know how this is about to go. It's just squash match after squash match after squash match.
And that's why 400,000 people tune in every week. Did you hear Booker T's I don't know Booker T's commentary about the New Day?
Oh, so I saw like a stat. So apparently Kofi passed Booker T for the most tag team title rings.
Okay. Is that where the hate's coming from? Because he generally seemed disgusted by their presence.
Probably.
So
I think now Kofi has a total of 15 and Booker had 14. So
yeah.
I mean, it could be just kind of, no, I don't think they really have heat, but like just kind of playing that up.
Yeah, I was about to say because Booker seemed genuinely disgusted, calling them camera hogs and just it was like Chappelle show levels of hating that Booker T was having.
Hate.
It was a bunch of hate. Yes. So the last thing we're gonna talk about is the new Iron Survivor match that they debuted in NXT this past Saturday. Roxanne Perez and Grayson Waller are the winners. I'm not here to really talk about the winners. I just want to get your opinion on the concept of the match.
So
and how it played out.
Okay, so like I've only seen the women's version. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit behind on NXT. Like I've watched most of the show. I just haven't watched the men's match. I watched the women's match. I'm still like a little lost on the concept of it. Cause like for some reason I thought in the rules, I thought they like lost a fall.
I thought that was initially, and that's what I thought too. I thought initially in the rules they lost a point, but apparently they went back on that.
Yeah, like that's why I'm like, so okay, so if you have 0, I guess you just stay at 0. But then like if you win a fall, do you just stay at 0? Like I don't know how you figure that out.
Yeah.
But like, so I thought that was a little confusing. Like that never really came into play. And for some reason, like when the match was over, I don't know. I didn't really feel good at the end of it. Like I didn't dislike the match. I just once it was over, I'm like, okay, great. Like she won, but like, nothing happened the last like 2 minutes.
Right. It's like I know in the men's match it was progressive, like much worse. Whereas like Grayson Waller just ran around for a minute after he got the fall with a minute left. So, and they kept saying how much of a disadvantage coming in first is and second. I was like, to me, it's an advantage to come in first and second because that means I have the full 25 minutes.
Yeah.
To get a fall. Otherwise, the last person who comes in only has 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So I thought it was weird that they played up that coming in last was an advantage, and it's not.
And also, like when the match was over, I'm like, I really feel like this is a match that like a heel should be winning. Like I don't really see how this match benefits a babyface like at all, unless like they're in the fifth spot. But then it's like, well, they don't really have time to like sell and come back from anything except if they're down in the score. But like everybody else has wrestled for so long already, so then it's kind of like easy picking. So like,
Unless you come from number one, like if you come from number one, you're a babyface. Then
but you have more time than anybody.
That was my whole thing the entire time. And
Bro.
they kept reiterating the later you come in, the better your odds are. And I just thought that was stupid because like I would rather have the full 25 minutes to get a fall, to get more falls. Because you're gonna have a 15-minute advantage on the last person.
Yeah.
So the last person only has 10 minutes to, let's say, get 3 falls.
Right.
So
are they going? And that's why I was saying, like, if you have 0 and like whoever's in the lead has 3 after 15 minutes, like, I don't know, just how can you build sympathy for a babyface in that situation? You know what I mean? Like, and then like if you have a babyface win in the match, they were in the match like they've had the longest amount of time to win.
Right.
I was kind of also hoping to see like the penalty box used more.
Oh, in the men's match, they maybe overused it.
Hmm.
Like
maybe that's why
like,
they didn't use it as much in the first one.
You wish there was like something going on in there, like fighting and stuff.
No, I just wish it was like multiple people in there at once. That's all.
Yeah, the men's match does. Yeah, they.
Well, yeah,
it may be over. You get what you want in the men's match, maybe too much.
Yeah, it's just more so like it. To me, it just seemed weird how it's like, okay, nothing happened the first 5 minutes, and then nothing really happened until like the fourth person was about to, and then they, put. The only situation I liked in the women's match was like the last maybe 2 minutes. I forgot who got put in the box, but they only had like, I don't know, like 23 seconds, 24 seconds, down 1.
Yeah.
And they come in trying to like just pin whoever. So I thought that was cool. Like, but again, I would think that would be more of like a babyface spot. Like Roxanne would, like if she wasn't going to win the match, you would put her in that spot to where like, oh no, she's at a disadvantage right at the end. Can she like tie? Like, what happens if the match is tied?
They go to sudden death.
So like everybody's still there, or just those whoever's tied?
To my knowledge, is just who's ever's tied.
Oh, okay. Okay, so well they can.
Whoever it turns into like a. I guess it turns into, if everybody's tied, it turns into a 5-way. If there's 4 people that tie, it turns into a 4-way. I admired them trying a new concept.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would bring this back.
I feel like the issue was trying to end developmental though. Like I think this is something that could probably work on the main roster.
Because they were trying to brand it as an Iron Man match. And
it needs a different name too. The Iron Survivor.
Like a wrestler should be able to go. I know like 25 minutes is a long match, but
somebody does that like twice. You get 2 20-minute matches at least on Raw. At least.
Right. And maybe for the men, it's not me being sexist, because I know that the Iron Woman matches, they're 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So maybe you put the men's at like 45 minutes. Like, let it be a longer intervals.
No.
25 minutes is not an Iron Man match for.
Yeah, it's not.
So
it's just a regular match.
Right.
Like that's what I'm saying. Like I get they say Iron Man because I guess you're counting the falls.
Yeah.
Like that was my takeaway, not necessarily from the time, but like this is like a convoluted beat the clock in a way. But yeah, I feel like this match just needs a different name, and really to me just need different people. Because I feel like having this for developmental I don't think it's necessarily like for the better.
Right.
Like if I could see this match concept with like Becky, with Bianca, with Rhea Ripley, with Bailey, and throw in like Oscar or Alexa, like throw those 5 people in there. Let me
Right.
see how this match looks.
Right.
Because I feel like you can visually see like more impressive stuff. I feel like they would try to make use of like the environment more. Because I don't know, can you be disqualified in this kind of match?
Yes.
Do they have multiple? Did they have multiple referees? I don't even remember seeing but one referee.
From my knowledge, I think there may have been 2.
Oh, okay. So, you know, I have to go back and I mean, I'll look for more stuff in the men's match,
Yeah.
stuff that I'm questioning from the first one.
Yeah.
But
No.
you know, I would watch it again, but I would need to see it on the main roster.
Yeah. Absolutely. All right. So is there anything else you want to talk about?
No, not right now. I think we'll probably hold off on some other stuff till we get more information.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Um,
So this, you know what? You know how I know we'll talk about it? Y'all got to come back next week. Next Wednesday. We'll be here 9:19 p.m. when Big Hirsch makes his triumphant return back to the KOD show.
man, next
Right, is there
Wednesday.
anything you want to say for the people before we get out of here?
Hey, absolutely. Y'all gotta come next Wednesday. This gonna be hey, we getting ready for Christmas next week.
You're right. That is the last show before Christmas.
That's what I'm saying. I just looked at the calendar, man. The 21st.
Yeah.
Jeez. Hey, so definitely join us next week, man. We gotta have talk about our wish list, what Santa Claus bringing, you know, all that, man. We're gonna have a good show next week. I actually can't wait to do the show next week, man.
No doubt.
This has got
Also,
me excited.
hey man, it's like a kid at Christmas.
That's facts. I didn't even realize it. But hey, here we are.
So and also you see at the bottom of the screen our socials. So don't forget to join our Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. If you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and subscribe to us. If you haven't hit that like button already, go ahead and hit that like button. Go ahead and turn that notification bell on. We'll appreciate it.
And if you're listening on Spotify, please be sure to follow us with our socials, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Everything is at the KOD Show.
Email, everything. Just we got a question, email us. It don't even matter. But thank you to everybody who showed up tonight and participated. Thank you for those who are watching the replay. Like I said, a couple burning questions for the week. Who's the third person if Cody isn't ready and The Rock isn't winning? Who's the third person you would have winning the Royal Rumble? And what did you think about the Iron Survivor match? How can they tweak it? And should they even bring it back? So until next week, I'm gonna go ahead and you know what? This is something we will take from Big Hirsch.
Oh, you want me to go ahead and do it?
Yeah. You gotta feel in for him.
I thought I tried earlier. I ain't do so good. So I try again.
Let's try one more time.
So real quick, I do want to say, as Big Hirsch would say, anybody struggling, need to talk to anybody, please reach out. Had some unfortunate news today. Twitch, I don't know if y'all know. So yes, please, man. If anybody's struggling, please reach out. We're praying for his family. It's a tough thing to go through, especially this time of the year.
Absolutely.
So yes, if anybody is ever struggling, needs somebody to talk to, we're here. Hit us up on any of our socials, even email. We ain't put no icon up here, nothing for email, but hey, that's open too. But yes, for Big Hirsch, one time, play our music.